If every time you think about putting yourself first, you hear a voice that says, "You're being selfish," that's not your intuition, that is guilt. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly why eldest daughters feel so guilty for prioritizing their own needs and how to break that pattern so you can start choosing yourself without the shame spiral. I'm Jayleen, and I help high-achieving eldest daughters unlearn guilt-driven habits and finally feel worthy of rest, peace, and boundaries. Before we dive into this video, I want you to take my free burnout quiz. It's going to help you find out where you are on the burnout scale and what your next step is towards recovery. The link is in the description for you. It's a completely free quiz. So first I want to talk about, where is this guilt coming from? Guilt is not a random feeling, it's actually a learned response, and for eldest daughters, it usually starts early. You were the helper, the one who didn't complain, the one who got praise for being selfless, and that praise became your compass. You learned that putting others first was good and thinking about yourself was wrong. And over time, guilt became your inner warning system. If you took a break, said no, focused on your own needs, guilt flares up. Not because you're doing anything bad, but because your brain was wired to see that as dangerous. And to your nervous system, prioritizing yourself equals rejection. What's worse, guilt feels like integrity. So when you start to heal and do things differently, it feels like you're betraying your values, even though you're not. And that's why so many high-functioning women end up stuck in cycles of burnout. Guilt makes rest feel morally wrong. But the truth is, guilt doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It means you're doing something new. Guilt shows up not because you're a bad person, but because you're finally breaking rules that were never yours to begin with. And understanding this is powerful. It helps you create distance from that emotion. Instead of letting guilt stop you, you can pause and say, this is old programming. I'm allowed to feel this way and still choose me. This shift does not happen overnight, but awareness is the beginning of everything. Because once you can name the guilt, you can stop obeying it. Next, we need to separate self-care from selfishness. So let's make one thing very clear. Putting yourself first is not the same as being selfish. But as an eldest daughter, you've probably internalized the belief that any act of self-care is a betrayal of your role. And that belief runs deep. You've been the one to drop everything for others. You've canceled plans, skipped meals, sacrificed sleep, not out of obligation, but out of love. So when you start prioritizing your own needs, it feels like a betrayal of everything you've been conditioned to be. But here's what I want you to know. Taking care of yourself is the most generous thing that you can do because it allows you to show up whole and not hollow. The myth that you have to earn rest or prove your worth through suffering, that's not noble. That's generational trauma. Imagine a version of you who feels rested, nourished, and emotionally stable. Do you think she would be more or less capable of caring for others? Prioritizing yourself is not selfish, it's sustainable, it's sane. You're not here to be a martyr. You're here to be a whole human. So you probably picked up on this. The next step is that you need to learn to sit with discomfort. Even when you know all of this, guilt does not disappear. So here's what you need to know. Your ability to tolerate discomfort is key to your healing. When you say no and guilt shows up, don't run from it, just sit with it, let it speak. Remind yourself, I'm allowed to feel uncomfortable and still honor my needs. And it's just like building a muscle. You're gonna overthink, you're gonna wanna explain, you're gonna probably even backtrack sometimes, and that's okay, that's part of the process. But the next time you say no to something, write down how you feel. Shame, guilt, anxiety, and now ask, whose voice is that? Is it your mom's? A teacher, society? This is going to help you see the guilt not as truth, but a voice or a story that you've inherited. You can say something like, I'm choosing myself. That's not selfish, it's necessary. The more that you practice this, the less power guilt has. Eventually, what used to feel unbearable will start to feel like just a little speed bump. You don't need to feel 100% confident to make a choice that prioritizes yourself. You just need to be willing to show up for you and make that choice. You are not broken because you feel guilty for putting yourself first. You are conditioned, and that can be unconditioned, unlearned. This isn't about becoming cold and distant and uncaring. It's about breaking the belief that you have to bleed yourself dry to be a good daughter, partner, leader, or even human. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to prioritize your peace. and you don't need guilt's permission to do it. And if you're ready to stop letting guilt run the show, then start by taking the free burnout quiz. It'll show you exactly where you are in the burnout scale and what your next step should be to reclaim your energy and your self-worth. Because when you know where you are, then you can finally start healing. If this video was helpful to you, please hit the like button, share it with other firstborn daughters that you think it might help. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you get to watch other videos from me in the future. And don't forget to watch this video next.